Do you ever think about how amazing it would be to get all of the things done that you set out to do, so when you come home in the evening, you can relax and recharge? I'm sure this is something that has crossed your mind in the past because we all struggle with productivity and time management. So today I want to give you a couple of different tools on how you can better increase your productivity and remove distractions. My name is Julia Arndt and I'm a peak performance coach, personal development trainer and keynote speaker. And if you're watching one of my videos for the very first time, welcome to my videos. I am creating video content on a weekly basis in order to help you stay the high achiever and peak performer that you are. So if you are interested to learn more about peak performance tools and habits, stress management tools and mindfulness strategies, then head over also to my YouTube channel at Julia Arndt and make sure to subscribe, because every time when I am releasing new content, you will be notified on your YouTube homepage. And if you're hitting the little bell that is next to the subscribe button as well, you will also receive small notifications in your YouTube account when I'm releasing new content. And I'm releasing new videos every Monday and every Friday. So let's jump into today's topic, how to increase your productivity and remove distractions. And in order to make this a little bit easier for you, I have created 5 steps on how to increase productivity and 4 steps on how to remove distractions, because I think we need to talk about both. So let's start with how can you increase your productivity. And the very first thing that I want you to do is to be very clear on your daily goals. Something that we are not so often thinking about. We sometimes think about our yearly goals or our quarterly goals, but what is 1 or 2 things that you need to get done by the end of today? What would make you feel accomplished by the end of today? So once you have created that goal, I want you in the second step to create blocks on your calendar. It is really important that you are managing your time instead of having your calendar take over and just manage your time for you. So that is really, really important. And I have a few different videos on how to set boundaries and how to manage your time. So make sure to check them out as well. But those are the 2 most important steps. So step number 1, what is your goal for today? Don't set unrealistic goals. Make sure that there's only 1 or 2 things on your list that you want to achieve, because you will be more likely to feel accomplished by the end of the day if you're setting small achievable goals. And one of the things that I'm doing when I don't achieve those 2 goals that I'm setting out to do during the day, I'm not setting new goals for the next day. I am just making sure that the list of things that I started to create at the beginning of the week gets fulfilled and accomplished. So setting daily goals, and then step number 2, blocking your calendar in order to make sure that you have time to create those projects or those lists of things that need to get done. That is really important as well. In the third step, I want you to close your inbox tab. A very easy task, something that you can implement immediately, but something that we get so easily distracted by. And it kind of goes into both how to increase your productivity and remove distractions, because we are very easily distracted by that little number that pops up behind our inbox tab name that tells us that there's a new email that has come in. And when you are reflecting, when you're working on a task and your eyes are wandering and you're seeing that your inbox tab has a new little notification, then we are so easily distracted by going into the inbox tab, reading the email, maybe replying to the email, and without us realizing, we have spent 15, 20 minutes or even an hour on a task that we didn't really want to get done by that day. So closing your inbox tab, something that you can easily do right now when you try to focus on the task at hand. The next thing, and the 4th step that I want you to think about is that I want you to think about, when do you feel most productive during the day? That is a little bit different from person to person. Some people feel more clear and productive in the morning. Some people feel more clear and productive maybe in the later afternoon. But I want you to think about, when is your time when your energy levels are really high and when you know that you can get a lot of things done. And then I want you to make sure that you're implementing those time blocks that you set out to do for yourself in your calendar, obviously accordingly. So for example, if in the morning you are super productive, then I want you to block 2 hours for a really important task or a project that you know you want to complete by the end of the day, because that's really, really important to use your energy levels, right? Because if you're choosing a time where you're already not feeling super hyped and super productive, it's going to be really hard to concentrate. So make sure that you're setting yourself up for success and that you are creating those time blocks when your energy levels are the highest. And step number 5 for increasing your productivity is monotasking. How often are we trying to do so many things simultaneously? We're answering emails, we're answering phone calls, we're talking to our colleagues, we're working on a project, we have 20 different tabs open, and it's just messy and we are not really feeling accomplished by the end of the day. So I want you to think about monotasking. So going back from multitasking, where you're doing many different things at the same time, and go back to doing one task at a time and really remove those distractions, which we're going to talk about now. So what are 4 really clear steps that you can do in order to remove distractions and increase your productivity? When we are talking about the subject, we're going a little bit more into the stress management realm and into really increasing your energy. And the question is, how do you increase your energy? By number 1, and this is the step number 1 on how to remove distractions, is when your energy is not really high anymore, it's going to be very easy to get distracted. So we always want to make sure that you are working on your highest energy, and if you don't have high energy anymore, on how to recharge your energy levels. So step number 1 is to exercise on a daily basis. And I'm not talking about that you have to go to the gym and that you need to work out for 30 minutes or an hour in order to recharge your batteries. It could be as simple as stepping away from your desk. We are all sitting way too much every day, and I want you to go for a walk outside, get some fresh air, get some natural light. That's really, really important to recharge our energy levels. Make sure that you are disconnected from your phone while doing that. I don't want you to go outside and be glued to your phone for 30 minutes. This is defeating the purpose. So exercise, very important. When are you exercising for 30 minutes on a daily basis? When are you moving? When are you getting up from your desk? When are you getting fresh air? When are you getting natural sunlight? To really fill those energy levels. And step number 2, that is equally as important as getting daily movement and exercise into your day-to-day, is to get good sleep. Something that I'm working on with my clients all the time, because we have learned that as adults, we shouldn't go to bed before 10 o'clock or before 11 o'clock. Oftentimes, we might come home in the evening, get our kids to bed, and then open our laptops again because we have too many things going on and we feel not accomplished, and we think that by working another hour or 2, we get more things done. The reality often looks different, which is why I'm always telling my clients, you better get some good sleep and the next morning you can be more productive. So getting good sleep, 8 to 9 hours on average, is extremely important. So go to bed early, remove distractions. If you have trouble falling asleep, I have a lot of videos about that as well, so make sure to check them out as well. Step number 3, when we are talking about removing distractions, is taking regular breaks. Very, very important. There's a lot of statistics and a lot of data around how powerful it is to take regular breaks in order to refill and recharge yourself. And in fact, if you want to have some numbers, some specific numbers, the 10% most productive employees are working on average around 50 minutes and then they're taking a 15-minute break. It's really important, again, when you are on that break, don't be distracted by your phone. Don't take phone calls. Maybe don't even speak to your colleagues. You can if you want. If you're an extroverted person, that's totally okay. But I would highly recommend to you to just take 15 minutes for yourself. Go outside, get 15 minutes of exercise in, get 15 minutes of fresh air, clear your head for the next task at hand, and make sure that you are recharging yourself. And step number 4 is something that I also like to talk about, because very often we are really cluttered, right? We are cluttered in our brains, we are cluttered on our desks, we are cluttered in our house. And decluttering your workspace can be something really powerful to remove distractions. Because again, it's just another thing that can kind of keep us from focusing on the task at hand and really being productive. So have you thought about decluttering your workspace in 2020? No, it should not take too long. Maybe you just have a lot of papers lying around. It's decluttered. It's not really nice. It doesn't feel really comfortable. It's not really the energy that you want to create in order to be productive. So make sure that you're also decluttering your workspace. So this is all I wanted to share with you today, a few different tools and techniques that you can use in order to increase your productivity and remove distractions. I think there are a few things that are kind of in both categories, right? How to increase your productivity and removing distractions is coming really close together, but I hope this was a helpful list for you in order to start being more productive at work. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for watching this video. It's my pleasure to have you here. So I hope to see you very soon. With gratitude, Julia.